Hello? Is anyone here? I am here. Mora jumped. The words were cultured, masculine, and redolent with age. They seemed to drift down from above and be breathlessly whispered in her ear at the same time. She turned on the spot, searching for the speaker. She was alone. "Are you Vladimir?" she asked. "I am, yes," he replied, his voice freighted with deep melancholy, as if the name itself were a source of torment. "You are the painter." "Yes, that's me. I'm the painter," she said, adding, "My name is Mora Betsinia. I'm the painter." She cursed her clumsiness before realizing his last words had not been a question. "Good. I have been waiting a long time for you." "Oh, my apologies, sir. The letter said I wasn't to leave until the harbor bell rang." "Indeed it did. And you have arrived precisely when you were supposed to," said Vladimir, and this time Mora thought she saw a sliver of deeper black in the shadows. "It is I who am at fault, for I have been delaying sending for someone like you much too long. Vanity makes fools of us all, does it not?" "Is it vanity?" asked Mora, knowing the wealthier patrons like to be flattered. "Or simply waiting for the right moment to capture the truth of your appearance?" Laughter drifted down from above. Mora couldn't decide if he thought she'd said something funny or was mocking her. "I hear a variation of that every time," said Vladimir. "And as the truth, well, that is a movable feast. Tell me, did you like my garden?" Mora sensed a trap in the question and hesitated before answering. "I did," she said. "I had no idea you could grow anything that beautiful in Noxian soil." "You cannot," said Vladimir with wry amusement. "Such thin soil produces only the hardest specimens, ones that spread far and wide to drive out all others. But none of them could be called beautiful. The red flower you killed, it was a night bloom." Mora felt her mouth go dry, but Vladimir appeared not to care what she had done. "Night blooms were once native to an island chain in the east, a blessed piece of rare beauty and enlightenment," he said. "I dwelled there for a time, until it was destroyed, as all mortal endeavors ultimately must be. I took some seeds from a grove once tended by a temperamental nature spirit and brought them back to Valoran, where I was able to entice them to grow with a combination of blood and tears." "Don't you mean blood, sweat, and tears?" "My dear, what possible use would sweat be in growing a flower?" Mora had no answer, but the musical cadence of his voice was seductive. She could listen to it all night. Mora shook off the velvet quality of Vladimir's drifting voice and nodded towards the covered canvas. "Is that where I am to paint?" she asked. "No," said Vladimir. "That was merely my first." "Your first what?" "My first life," he said, as she lifted the edge of the sheet. The painting had faded with the passage of time, its colors bleached by light and the brush strokes flattened. But the image was still powerful, a young man on the cusp of adulthood, armored in a cake-looking bronze plate and bearing a fluttering banner depicting a wickedly curved scythe blade. Much of the detail had been lost, but the boy's blue eyes were still piercingly bright. The face was extraordinarily handsome, symmetrical, and with a tilt of the head that captivated her gaze. Mora leaned in and saw an army behind the young man, a host of hulking warriors, too large to be human, too bestial to be real. Their outlines and features had faded with age, and Mora was thankful for that small mercy. "This is you?" she asked, hoping he might appear to explain the portrait in person. "Once, a long, long time ago," said Vladimir, and Mora felt ice enter his words. "I was an unneeded heir of a long-vanished kingdom, in an age when gods made war on one another. Mortals were pawns in their world-spanning strife, and when the time came for my father to bend the knee to a living god, I was given up as a royal hostage. In theory, my father's loyalty would be assured by the constant threat to my life. Should he break faith with his new master, I would be slain. But like all my father's promises, it was empty. He cared nothing for me, and broke his oath within the year." The story Vladimir was telling was strange and fantastical, like the Shuriman myths Conrad told when they shared scare stories on the roof of the studio at night. Conrad's tales were thinly veiled morality plays, but this had a weight of truth behind it and felt uncontaminated by sentimentality. But instead of killing me, my new master had something altogether more amusing in mind. Amusing for him, at any rate. He offered me the chance to lead his armies against my father's kingdom, an offer I gladly accepted. I destroyed my father's city and presented his head to my master. I was a good and faithful hound on a leash. "You destroyed your own people? Why?" Vladimir paused, as though trying to decide if the question was serious. "Because even if the god warriors had not come, my father's kingdom would never have been mine," he said. "He had sons and heirs aplenty, and I would never have lived long enough to claim my birthright." "Why would your master make you do that?" "I used to think it was because he saw a spark of greatness within me, or the potential to be something more than a mere mortal," said Vladimir, with a soft sigh that sent warm shivers down Mora's spine. "But more likely he just thought it would be amusing to teach one of his mortal pets some tricks, as the mountebank teaches a monkey to dance around his stall to attract the gullible." Mora looked back at the image of the young man in the picture, now seeing something dark, looking deeper in the eyes. A hint of cruelty, perhaps. A glint of festering bitterness.